What's up guys, it's JK here. As you can see, I've moved to a new place, hence why there hasn't been a video from me for about a month now. I've been meaning to get a guide out for set 3, but there's been so many frequent patches within the PBE that the meta hasn't really settled in yet. There's been a patch on March 6th, on March 9th, today that I'm recording the video, March 10th, and there's going to be another patch tomorrow, March 11th. And it's because Riot is actually doing such an amazing job communicating with the players to bring us the best possible version of set 3 when it hits live. So I'm going to let the meta settle in tomorrow, take a few days to figure out and bring to you the best possible guide that I can for once this set hits live servers. In the meanwhile though, there has been one build that's remained consistent throughout all of these mini patches, and I'm certain that it will remain strong once we do hit the live servers. That is the 6 sorcerer 3 mech build. So I'm going to take you through a VOD where I'm in a lobby filled with challengers, and I'll showcase this optimized build including power spikes, item transitions, and the best possible late game to secure you that first place. It's the early game and I've already found an Annie and have paired sorcerers on the bench. Now my items don't really speak, sorcerer items or mech items, so I'm a little hesitant to go towards this build unless I roll more sorcerers along the way. And you'll see that's exactly what happens here on this next roll. We get our Twisted Fate upgraded and we also roll an Ari, so now I already have 4 sorcerers going for me, and this is what makes me lean towards the build. It's the round after the first carousel and you'll notice that I've leveled to 5. This is because my Twisted Fate and my Zoe are already upgraded. Those are the 1 cost sorcerers, and in this current patch the level 5 roll odds are so good for those 2 costs being at 45% and the 3 costs at 20%. So I'm looking for those key upgrades in Annie and Ari, while starting to fish for the 3 cost sorcerers being Syndra and Lux. Now these roll odds will actually change in the next patch, so do make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my latest videos, as I will be bringing out an econ and leveling guide for set 3. In terms of items, you'll notice I picked up a rod. This was not by choice. What I was looking for was a chain vest to make a guardian angel, as that's the most generic great item either for my mech or for my Syndra. That's who's going to be our mid-game carry, but it was in carousel that had all rods, so I had no choice there. We're entering the space golems, and this is a great round for me where it drops a rumble, which is a mech, a chain vest for guardian angel, and another rod for rabadons. Now through several testing, I've found out that the best carry and sorcerer currently is the Syndra, and that is because she is the most consistent with her targeting. You'll notice that the Vel'Koz sometimes doesn't have the best targeting. Now I want to talk about why these items in particular, the guardian angel, rabadons, and seraph. Syndra always targets the highest health enemy target, and therefore with 6 sorcerer and rabadons it will allow her to one-shot units. And then we want the guardian angel because infiltrators, which are the assassins of this set, can jump to the middle of the board. So if you put an infiltrator here, it jumps directly to the farthest opposite unit. It no longer flies in corners, so that means your opponents can put infiltrators here and they'll go directly on your carry. And then there's also Yasuo in this set again, which will target your unit with the most items, and in this case it will be our Syndra. But what the guardian angel does is once this unit dies, you'll notice here from that Kha'Zix for example, they do reset the aggro. Okay, and what we're doing for items and transitions, we always use Twisted Fate, and that's because he will always get replaced later on, as there's better 6 sorcerers. So he's our item holder, our early item holder, until we find the Syndra, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. Now you'll ask, Jinxed, what about Morello? In the current patch, in the current meta right now, there isn't really a need for Morello, but if there does happen to be so in the future, Vel'Koz would be the best item holder for Morello. As you'll see, he can spread it to basically the entire board fairly easy. Now on to the last item I've built here. It's one of the new ones, Easy Rot Portal, made out of belt and recurve bow. The reason I built this item is because my next 2 carousel items I'm going to be prioritizing are tiers for that Seraph's Embrace. Reason being is because Syndra has a low mana pool, and with the Seraph's Embrace and Star Guardian synergy, it allows her to get multiple ults off in quick succession, just one-shotting units left and right. And what the ZZ Rot portal does is, I think you saw it there a little bit, it summons a little minion that taunts units around it. And the best thing I can do with those components is maybe a Morello, maybe a Zephyr. Recurve Bow has never really had a great use in Sorcerer, and I don't want to wait throughout all of stage 3 holding on to those items that I can, possibly make them into something better at Wolves. Instead, I want to preserve health, so I just went ahead and utilized my belt and Recurve Bow. We're starting to creep into the mid game, and I want to talk about some transitional units. The main one over here being Shen. You'll see that both of us are using a 1-cost Shen. This unit right now is a monster. You can just put him up in the front and he'll tank the world for you. Really great unit, but what I want to talk about now is the best possible mid game with this build, and that will be 4 sorcerer, 3 mech. And look who we have here. We found our boy Fizz. I instantly, no hesitation, throw in the 3 mech. I get rid of the other units. Goodbye, Shen, you did your job. And yeah, here you have it, the best possible mid game with this build. So as we're entering stage 4 with the newly acquired Spatula, I now have 3 things to choose from. I can either slow roll down to 50 gold every turn to try and 3-star my Syndra or Annie. I can try to make the Star Guardian Spatula and look to go 6 Star Guardian, 6 Sorcerer. Now that's a level 8 build, and it would leave my frontline being only Annie and Poppy, and I don't feel comfortable doing that unless I know I can get Annie 3. And after doing some scouting, I noticed that there's another sorcerer player in the lobby, making it really much more difficult for me to get 3-star Syndra and 3-star Annie, as those units are being contested. So I decided going for this third option, still making a Star Guardian, but giving that to Vel'Koz and not worrying about going to 6, just allowing him to benefit from that synergy, and instead push to level 7 and 8 so I can get that 6 sorcerer buff online with my mech, which is a much more powerful frontline unit. And if you are wondering, yes, Syndra and Annie are currently the best units to 3-star in this build. I quickly want to touch on other Spatula options with this build before we go into our level 9 late game build. And that will be the Demolitionist Spat, which we can put on our Vel'Koz. The Infiltrator Spat isn't really that great of an option, as we don't want to throw it on any of our sorcerers, and it doesn't really benefit from putting on the Rumble or the Annie. And no, the mech will not jump if it has an Infiltrator Spat. As far as I know, I might be wrong on that one. But the late game level 9 transition, as you will see here, is indeed the Echo, as it does add some added crowd control. Yes, Echo does stop channeled spells. As we take a look at the last fight here, I do end up going for an item transfer from Syndra to the Echo, and that is for 2 reasons. 1, it is not a Syndra 3. 2, yes, Syndra does have consistent targeting on 1 unit, whereas Echo has consistent targeting on every single unit. Let's take a look at this Echo ult coming in here. Boom, 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 boom. Amazing to see. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. Give it a thumbs up, it really does help, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.